It's nearly 24 hours now since Birmingham was delivered the crushing news it won't be UK City of Culture in 2013. The defeat to Londonderry was devastating for the team behind the bid, who'd worked out the title could bring the city £350 million.
Yeah, questions are now being asked why Birmingham is missing out again on a major showpiece event, as Ben Godfrey reports.
Last night in Derry, they were celebrating in style. 8:30 this morning in Birmingham, young people from the arts group Envision gather to digest the news. These teenagers are working to challenge negative stereotypes about the city.
I'm actually really gutted about it because I think Birmingham's the most amazing city in the UK. It's so multicultural, it's diverse, there's so many opportunities for young people.
Pretty disappointed considering we've missed out the last 2 times and to other cities. And when you look around, Birmingham's got such variety.
We've been here before.
Barcelona, España.
When Birmingham lost out on the 1992 Olympics, there were plenty of tears. In 2002, it was the failed bid for the National Football Stadium. 2003, and Liverpool pipped Brum to European Capital of Culture. Now, another international showcase slips away.
Derry, they need a title. I mean, as I say, maybe, we're a city of culture. We didn't need it as bad as Derry. And as I say, the bidding process, we've gained a lot from it.
But not the estimated £350 million for the local economy and 3,000 jobs. Does Birmingham sell itself well? Does politics play a part? Questions everyone's asking.
Maybe, and there's a lot of politicking that goes on in these things, it may be the government took the view that Derry required more stimulative investment than Birmingham. And on paper, we've got a lot of good stuff going on.
There's another battle for arts groups, fighting the cuts. Now the Arts Council has been asked by the government to look at cuts of between 25% and 30% over 4 years. That could see funding drops for local arts organisations of around £134 million a year. The City of Culture tour bus was still on the road today.
We've come together as a community to say this is the beginning of something. Watch out for what will happen in the future.
There will be a big arts programme, but not for at least 5 years. You can't fault determination. Birmingham will soon look at bidding for future Commonwealth Games. Ben Godfrey, BBC Midlands Today, Birmingham.
Well, let's go live now to one of the jewels in Birmingham's cultural crown, the world-class Symphony Hall, based in Birmingham's ICC, where our arts reporter Lindsay Doyle and political editor Patrick Burns have been reflecting on that, I have to say, very dreadful decision. Patrick, if I can come to you first, why is it that we constantly seem to be rejected for things like this?
Well, you're right, Suzanne. I mean, successive events in history really don't offer any encouragement at all. And I think a clue comes in a conversation that I had with a senior figure in the last government at the time when Birmingham was pipped by Liverpool to European Capital of Culture. And she said, looking through this tremendous set of cultural offerings that were in Birmingham's bid for that, she said, you simply don't need this. Which in a way is kind of galling, isn't it? Because it suggests that for all the success of our cultural offering here, and it is very diverse, that frankly we're looking increasingly like victims of our own success.
Indeed, almost a backhanded compliment, isn't it, Patrick? But many are surmising Derry winning was purely, a political decision. What do you make of that?
Well, this sort of contest, it's never really a case of art for art's sake, is it? It's more like art for politics' sake. And I suppose, when you think in terms of the overall political situation in Northern Ireland, the premium on delivering stability there, that with hindsight, I suppose this eventual outcome could have been predicted, really.
Because it's so frustrating. Birmingham had so many events planned, didn't they, if they won. I wonder if I can ask Lindsay, is there anything that can be salvaged from all this? Anything to look forward to, Lindsay?
Oh, absolutely, Nick. 2013 is still going to be a fantastic year for this city. The Birmingham Rep behind me celebrates its 100th birthday. The new Central Library opens. We're also going to see a brand new spanking new building to house the Staffordshire Horde. And of course, all our wonderful grassroots things will still continue to entertain this city. They might have given us the accolade, but we'll still do it on our own.
OK, Lindsay, thanks very much indeed. I mean, you were there last night, weren't you?
There.
I mean, there's always this nagging feeling, this nagging rumour, really, wasn't there? Londonderry had already won it.
Well, yeah, there was for quite a long time. And then when we got there, we were kind of buoyed up. People were definitely saying it's not a done deal. It's not a done deal at all. So we kind of felt a bit buoyed up and we kind of thought, you know, it could be us. And then it wasn't. We were even more crushed. It was a really crushing evening.
Yeah, it was very disappointing, to say the least.
Well, we've had lots and lots of emails from you on this. People feeling very passionately, very strongly indeed, just as we do, actually. This one from Mike Brown in Wolverhampton says, so once again, Birmingham is rebuffed in an attempt to achieve some national prominence. Is it any surprise, he says, that it fails to win prizes when the London-centric media political clique are in judgment?
Brian Heath got in touch from Castle Bromwich. He's also fuming. What does Londonderry have that Birmingham hasn't, he says? Political unrest, and that's why the politicians gave them the money. It had nothing to do with culture. Never mind, Birmingham will still continue to stand head and shoulders above the rest, he says.
Indeed. And Gary Webb in Worcester emailed us too. And this is most interesting because he says, I was in Northern Ireland last weekend and I read in a local newspaper that Londonderry had been awarded City of Culture status and it would be announced on Thursday. It's interesting, isn't it? The decision had clearly been made in advance, he says. Birmingham was never even in the running.
Well, thanks for all your emails. Really interesting. I must say that all the ones you read out actually came from viewers who didn't even live in Birmingham. It's quite ironic, isn't it?
Everybody passionate.
Well, we may have lost out on the title of City of Culture. What's in a name, anyway?